let's all catch up and get everybody going, so that way we can start playing some D&D. Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So real quick recap. I'm not going to start at the we'll start at the beginning. So in the last session, you all were teleported out of your combat into a room in the College of Hidden Letters, much to Elodin's chagrin, and you met Melagul. And he brought you to see the dean. And the dean essentially said, hey, we're screwed. We're having issues. People are going missing. More than normal. And Elodin specifically said, I will do this. Mostly because individuals that he had known while he was in the College of Hidden Letters had gone missing. In fact, in many ways had led the expeditions to find those who are missing and then themselves gone missing. In searching Sithu's room, you had found some keys to accessing the levels of the library that were locked off by magic. You traveled through a moon pool. You fought a moonbeam angler and killed it really handily, and then grabbed a magical door that, if you had missed, you would have ended up in the abyss. So you managed to pull yourselves in and entered a room that was a cylinder, about 12-foot high ceilings. Half of the room is bathed in red light and has red-bound books, and it has red velvet chairs. And then there's like this divide in the middle. And as soon as, a book crosses over that divide or anything like that, it's blue instead of red. So there's blue velvet, there's blue lighting, there's blue binding to all of the books. And you did experiment a whole bunch, moving one book from one side to the next. And Elodin, you were reading a book and looking through a book, and you did find a gemstone, a clear gemstone, that fell to the ground once you'd opened it. And additionally, most of these books that you were looking at had to do with passion or love or general emotions and feelings. Yes, books on the meaning of life. There were a couple books on pain, suffering, anger, torture, and loss. They seem to be a little bit more on the blue side than the red side. And these bookcases are floor to ceiling.
So this clear gem, if I move side, like throughout the room, it doesn't change color or anything?
It doesn't change color.
Andrew, you're forgetting a very important point. Once I saw the gemstone, I started just tossing all the books in my area, looking for more.
Yes, you did. Give me an investigation.
Sure. Doesn't mean it's wise, but 15.
All right. You do manage to find 2 more gemstones.
Nice. I pocket them.
Are they also clear?
They are indeed clear.
All right. And in the process, are all the books now on the floor? Because, I'm being completely careless about them.
Basically, what everybody sees is Ragus goes up to the bookcases, and he's kind of like, and just starts kind of, opening them up and kind of just going like this with them. He's just taking these books and kind of careless of the bindings and the pages, and just tosses them over his shoulder when nothing falls out, and then grabs the next one. That's what you see.
So, do they look the same?
The stones, yes, they're the same faceting, and they're also this very crystal clear. They're completely transparent. More so than any diamond you'd ever seen.
I have no idea what this means.
So these books here,
Probably something
not like spell books or anything, right?
You have not found any spell books. You've found books of poetry, books on the human condition, existentialism.
Is there anything on the blue side of things that might make somebody a better guitar player?
Ooh.
Maybe by a Robert Johnson or something.
You can peruse for musical advice if you want.
Totally.
Do you want to give me a
That
general?
would be me as that's me as Joe, not Dimitri asking.
Of course, of course. So what does Dimitri do?
Dimitri would probably be looking for, if he stumbles across anything about life or death beyond anything of the arcane sort, he'd be looking for shit like that.
So why don't you give me an investigation roll as well?
Faux show. Mm-hmm.
Fellas, I'm just having a thought. When we remove a book from one point to another, it seems to change colors. Why we take all the books from one side and toss them on the other side? They're already on the floor. We can probably just push them out.
15, and that seems a little unbalanced to me.
15.
Hey, that's the point. Maybe some balance is going to get this thing, whatever this is, moving or taking us to the next step.
So, Dimitri, you decide to look around as well, and you are taking a little bit more of a measured approach than the dwarf. You walk near these bookcases, and as you're examining the books and looking for anything that sparks your interest, occasionally grabbing one that might be a little bit like a Thanatopsis, just pondering death and the meaning of death, you notice that there is a notch in the wood near one of these books on death.
Mm-hmm.
And just immediately you're kind of like, oh, it's the same size as one of these gemstones.
Mm-hmm.
While he's doing this, I'm getting ready to put my own small book of poetry on the shelf. And it's terrible wizard poetry.
A book you wrote that's terrible wizard poetry?
Yes.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh boy. I'm very proud of you.
Well,
Can you read us a passage?
we put it on the shelf.
Yeah, I think you have to give us a limerick. Go.
I was not prepared for this. Hold on, come back to me.
Okay, I'll give you a minute.
On that note, hey, Elodin, I think we might have a little spot for your little magic gem here.
I toss you,
like to gem.
and then I'm going to go mute so I can figure out what a limerick is.
But Eladin tosses the stone over to Dimitri, and you catch it handily.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm gonna put it in there, and I'm just gonna have. What do I got? What protectors? I'm just gonna cast guidance on myself real quick, and then I'm gonna put it on.
All right.
Like, oh shit!
Are you on the red side?
Cinderella, be with me.
Are you on the red side or the blue side?
I was looking for blue stuff, so we'll go on the blue side.
All right. You give yourself a little prayer, and just shaking a little bit, and you lift up this stone, and you slot it gently in, and it momentarily flashes this very pale azure, and then pops right out.
Well, okay. Guys, there might be something to this, but I don't know what. So now that I know what to look for, I would probably be looking for other, facets to put more gems into.
Roll me some bones.
Nope. And I would point this out to everybody. So I'm like, hey guys, let us all look for this.
All right.
7 investigation for me.
You're looking around, and well, actually, you know what? Give me a perception actually on this, because you're kind of not really investigating. You kind of know what to look for. You just need to perceive them.
Okay.
In the meantime, I'm saying reluctantly, while I did found some extra gemstones, if need be, I would rather keep them, but I guess I can use them.
So, Dimitri, you're going around and you're like, and there's one, and there's one, and there's one, and there's one, and there's one. In total, you find 7. Oops.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yes. No, sorry.
Okay,
You find
gentlemen, I think we
12.
And
You,
how
fi-
many
you find
gems
you
do we
find a
have?
total of 12 facets of 12 slots that these can fit in, and they're not just in carved into the wood. You find like a hand gesturing on one side that has a space in its palm that could fit it. You find A book that's actual binding has a spot in it. You find just, like an ornamental piece that's coming out of one of the bookshelves, like a horn, and it has another spot on it as well in like a pewter setting. And there are, as I said, 12 in total, and you find 4 on the blue side and 7 on the red side.
Do you think maybe there's
spot when you know what to look for?
Do you think maybe there are specific stones that stay in specific facets? Why don't we try? Did you try that stone in one of those already? Why don't we try the other ones I found? See if any one of them sticks.
Well, how many actual? How many? Damn it! I can't do my accent right now. How many actual stones has we found?
You found 7 stones so far.
Okay.
I said 7. I meant 5, but we'll say 7. 7's fine.
This is red.
So since Dimitri pointed this out, I'm going to start like looking in the red section for stones, like just going through books and stuff.
Yeah, give me an investigation on that.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try to put some of these stones in the hole, see if any one of them stands. So, like whatever stones I found, I guess I'm trying them on the slot one at a time, see if they pop right up or if they stay put.
So you notice that when you're on the red side and you put a gemstone in it, momentarily flashes red, a crimson, and then pops out. When you're on the blue side, it again has that like cobalt blue going on, and then pops out back into your hand again. None of them seem to want to stay. They all look perfectly uniform. They're all replicas of one another.
Okay.
If we do more at a time, like all in unison.
But that's 12, and it's not 12 of us. Unless are these things close to each other?
No,
like,
they're
one person put?
They're distal.
They are or not?
They're distal, not proximal. They're all over the place.
Okay. So how about we try this?
There were a couple that were in like, spines of books and stuff. Is there like 1 or 2 that we could bring closer to another?
The one that's in the spine of a book, you like go to pull the book, and the book won't even budge.
Sons of a beach.
Okay. How about we try to
18, by the way.
do, fellas? How about we try one blue and one red at the same time?
You rolled an 18 for investigation. Is that what you said, Lucius?
Correct.
Lucius,
Correct.
you go around and you find another 3 stones. You're searching through books. You find them in a book over here. There's a random candle holder, and you look at it for a moment, and it's kind of like nice and deep and hollow, and you're like, hey, here's another stone.
I might as well join the crew looking for stones, right?
Hey, I got 3 of them. I don't know. What do you guys got?
That brings us to
I don't know how many I got. I was scavenging since the previous game.
So we're probably still missing 1 stone.
We found 10 so far, so we're missing 2 stones.
There are 12.
Assuming they're the equal quantity to slots.
Can we try what I was trying to say, please? Let's just have one of us go on the blue side with a stone, the other one on the red side with a stone, and let's put 2 stones at the same time, one on each side, see what happens.
I'm with you now. I do it.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I'll go on the red side. It reminds me of the blood of my enemies.
Ragus goes over to the red side, takes one of the faceted stones, and goes over to the socket and looks back at Eladin.
Eladin does the same shit on the blue.
2, 1,
Go.
All right.
Go.
In unison on
You better
Dimitri's
not fuck it up.
You put them in. The blue side one momentarily turns blue. The red side one momentarily turns red, and then they both pop out.
Fuck it.
We did it.
Hey, fellas, do you want to
try.
switch your stones?
Sure.
Alright.
I don't
Sure.
think it's going to matter.
I toss them back, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna matter.
Lucius, just catching up. These are crystal clear stones.
Right. If I see one turn blue and one turn red and both pop out, I want to take the one that turned blue, put it in the red side, one that turned red, put it in the blue side, and see what happens.
So you toss them to one another. Make eye contact. You gonna do this?
Aye.
All right, and you put the stones in simultaneously. The one on the red side goes red. The one on the blue side goes blue, and they pop right out.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's put the shot.
All right. Well, I guess maybe we can find all of them, and then you, Magic Fork, can try to use your magic whatchamagoo to try to put them all at the same time.
How many mage hands can I have going at once?
Are they concentration?
No.
I think just one.
It lasts for a minute, but it's not concentration.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure it's just one hand at a time.
I know other cantrips say you can do like 3.
Oh, it specifically says if you vanishes if you move it 30 feet away or if you cast this spell again.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you for looking.
So I can do 2 stones at once.
Well, if they're too close enough to each other, I can do 3.
Well, yeah, me too. But I don't know if we can.
I was gonna say. So, how long does it take between the time it glows and it pops out?
It's momentary. It's a fraction of a second.
So yeah. So you won't really have time to put one and then run to a next slot and put another one in and keep going.
There are 8 of you.
Are we?
Yeah, there's
Assuming here.
all characters are here for the moment. There are 8 of
And
you.
the dude, right? What was his name again?
Melagul.
Ella Ghoul. Got it.
Malaka.
By the way, I posted my limerick in the chat for you all.
Oh, I can't.
It's gorgeous.
If I view the chat, it'll overlay over everybody. So I'm not looking at the chat. Also,
You should read it
every
out
time
loud.
You post the chat, it makes this sound, which is totally getting recorded. Everything. As a heads
I'll
up.
read it here. So
I'm gonna chat more often.
enjoy it. There once was a wizard with fire. He feared his poetry quite dire. He wasn't bad with magic, but his poetry was tragic. Maybe he should just retire.
The real question is, did your character read that?
Oh yeah, he like reads it as he's putting it on the shelf.
Excellent. Are you in the blue side or the red side?
The blue side.
Your stone begins to burn blue.
Oh hey guys, I think I did a thing on accident.
Wait,
Um,
does that mean
Put
we
it on
have
the blue
to recite
side, not-
poetry?
Good
But-
job, college boy.
that's it.
You put it in the blue facet.
Yeah.
It sticks. You hear like a click, like as it pops into place, and it almost sinks in a little bit, as if a mechanism were engaging.
Oh guys, I got so much poetry. We're so good to go. Tell me, please, I don't have to write 12 limericks though.
What kind of books were on the red side? Because you said poetry was mainly on the blue.
Yeah,
They're all-
no. So the red is mostly about love and joy and happiness, and the blue side is more about angst and despair and existentialism and finding yourself and how challenges are meant to progress your life forward. So embrace the suck.
All right. I look at one of the stones after he did that, and I look at it. I go, there was someone I loved, and it helped me conquer my enemies. He wasn't really a person. It was just me axe.
And it turns bright, vivid red in your hand, glowing
Okay.
energetically.
I stick it in a notch.
It clicks into place and sinks.
So Dimitri would open up a random book on the shelf in the blue section and just start reading. A poem by one Ray Charles. Roses are black, violets are black, everything is black. I'm blind.
Your stone just burns this deep ocean death blue.
Are we really gonna come up? I have to come up with 12 poems.
I think so. This is what the
Wait.
internet is for.
We can read the books now?
No.
I thought they were all written in the secret language of the college.
I think Eladin helped him on that one. I think I need each player to come up with one, and then we'll say
Okay.
that's good.
I was writing another one for the red side.
You can do as many as you want, but I'm saying a minimum of one.
Okay.
What's a haiku again? 575.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
A fire come from within, and a dwarf angers with flames. A hammer gets dropped on a face. Elodin is on the ground, slain.
I clap.
Again, another red one burns in your hand.
right.
Amazing.
I'll put it somewhere.
There are 7 red and 4 blue, to recall, and 2 of the blue have been engaged, so there's 2 blue left. Melagul walks over to one of those stones and picks it up and holds it, and he says, "The love I have had is bled on the page, like ink dropped too far, and yet precious, like a day falling away. Every moment worth every ounce of pain." And it turns blue, and he walks over and sets it into the side. And then he quietly sits in one of the chairs.
Just for the record, when I read the poetry about smashing Elodin's face, I do look at him and I give him a big smile, kind of like, it's okay, we're good.
Elodin takes one of the stones and walks to the red side and reads out loud, "With Scythie does love remain, my heart held with her in chain. Magic does it grow, time does it flow, never once will it wane."
Your stone turns red, sets in its place, and works out. I need Fleos and Lucius. Come on.
I pick up one of the stones. I go, "I live for blood. I live for by the sword. I live for glory."
Yeah, burns red.
Put it in.
All right, I'm also stealing something because Dimitri stole something. So let's see. Oh, okay. All right. Yes, okay. Through the darkness of futures past, the magician longs to see one chance out between two worlds. Fire, walk with me. We lived among the people. I think you say.
That's so not resolved.
What color is this one?
Red.
Okay, yeah, red. It's all about the passion inside you, so red. All right, so you each go around. A couple of you go extra times, and you manage to set all of the stones in. And as the last stone is set in place, there's a click and a pop, and in the ground, I never really described the floor. The floor is wood, but it looks like almost it's made out of one piece of highly polished oak. However, they managed to do that with swirls going everywhere and little kind of notches. And some of this kind of begins to move around, almost as if the wood itself were changing. And it turns into a circle, and the circle twists, almost like a large knot in the wood. And you hear a whole bunch of mechanisms clicking and clacking, and then pops open. And the floor has, about enough space for a human to go through, an opening in the floor. Like a porthole down.
I hope there's no fucking water if we go in there.
Is it? We can't see like anything down it, right?
Looking down it, you see it. It's
there no like extra ladder or nothing like that?
It's almost as if you were looking down a hole, and yet that hole was a hole in the wall instead. So you look down, and where you expect it to kind of be a tunnel downward, you see what appears to be the floor going this way, and then doors lining either side, and it goes really far.
I grab a book and I just kind of toss it through the hole to see if it goes towards the weird floor.
So you take a book and you toss it, and as you toss it, it goes through and then drops. And by drops, I mean falls to what probably is the floor. It has this weird physics moment where it's like whoosh, poof.
Fellas, looks like we're gonna be able to walk down this area.
Elodin's already jumping through, leading the way.
You jump through, your stomach lurches into your throat, and you just kind of fall to the ground. Give me a dex save, just to very easy DC. Actually, we'll say acrobatics or athletics. Acrobatics. Give me an acrobatics. Sorry.
I mean, I had a nat 20 on the dex save.
You're good then. All right, yeah. So you elegantly shoulder roll to standing.
I put my hands up and go, ta-da! Come on, guys, let's go.
All right. I'm going to jump in just for fun. I'm going to try to do it athletically. And I got a 17
All
to
right.
do a quick roll and jump into the hole.
Yeah, so you take like this massive leap into the hole and go down. And as you go down, you grab the edge and kind of spin yourself around and then land in like this deep squat and then come back to standing with your axe in hand.
How deep is this hole?
Well, it goes beyond how far you can see.
Oh, so it's more than 60 feet.
I'll describe it once everybody's passed through it. I'll describe what you can see at least.
I mean, that looks pretty fucking deep. Like everybody just fucking disappears out of there. I call down.
No, you can
No,
see them.
but-
You can see them because this is like a portal in Portal. Basically, there's this porthole in the ground, and when you jump through it, you can see that for whatever reason the rules of gravity change, and you're now attracted to what you looking down would say is one of the walls of the shaft, but appears to be the floor of the shaft or the floor of the hallway instead.
All
I'll
right,
jump in.
sure. I'll tumble through this thing based on what I saw Ragus do. Let's see if I break my shoulder. Just a dex check.
You can use athletics or acrobatics, whichever higher.
Oh, okay, 24.
Yeah, you dexterously leap through and do that kind of forward tumble where you put your hands down and then bring your body through the tumble and then come back to standing next to your compatriots.
All right. Well, that was terrible and horrifying. Does your college always look like this? I can see why you left.
Yes, I mean, it's magic. Like, magic people like magic stuff, even if it's fucking useless.
I mean, I like magic stuff, but it's generally useful. I walk away.
do you actually
Dimitri
say?
would be
Do you actually say I walk away? Because that felt like it was in character.
No. I mean, I just didn't slip out of the accent fast enough, but I walk away. Oh, have I not had this on the entire time? I haven't had it on the entire time.
You've been a generic face. Excellent. It's good
Hey
to
there.
see you.
Dimitri would slowly, gingerly, and easily try and lower himself into it.
I picture you like almost sliding on your belly.
A little bit whoop, 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 and then at some
I'm gonna
point,
yell back to
lose control.
I'm gonna
Just,
yell back to
jingle, I'm
Dimitri.
wearing scale mail, so jingle jangle, Christmas bells just down into the hole.
I want to, as soon as I see Dimitri doing this, which I assume my passive perception allows me to pick up on, I'm going to yell back to Dimitri, oh, be careful not to touch the sides.
As I'm fucking pulling myself off my ass, I'd be like, thanks, man, appreciate it.
I'll go over and I'll help Dimitri up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make you roll for that one. You kind of slink on your belly and your back, and Leos kind of reaches over and you grab his hand, and there's a moment as your stomach churns, and you're like, oh, okay.
Temporal physics are not, suited for my digestive system.
Yes. Well, sorry. I thought you knew.
And I think that
It's all good.
leaves us Lucius.
I'm just gonna do a quick pass around the room, make sure nothing's following us or nothing's moving around. Nothing's changed since we opened this.
Sure. Yeah, you can eye the room without even moving around it physically. You just kind of give it a quick look over, and it looks exactly the same, like nothing has changed.
All right, I'll do one of those walking off a roof Matrix style, just stepping in. You know what I mean?
Yes, excellent. Acrobatics or athletics?
While I'm there, if
12.
Your 12 makes you succeed. You kind of do that walk over, and it's like whoop, and then you feel almost pulled forward by this super accelerated speed, and you just kind of you have one little like false step, but you catch yourself, and it's just like.
So if you said that the entire 8 people group were around here, I make sure I yell to Isilme, Solbaya, and Malakas to come over.
Yes, they all handily follow you through the portal. Melagul just kind of like has a moment. He stumbles and kind of trips a little bit and lands on one of his hands, and he kind of shakes his wrist as he gets up. He's like, I never want to do this again.
Agreed.
So you find yourself in a very long hallway. It goes further than you can see. There are doors on either side. Each set of doors is divided by a bulkhead. And the floor is made out of pure pitch black polished marble. You can see your reflections in it. If you have any, does anyone have any light sources out?
No, but I can see 60 feet.
All right, so the dark vision, you don't really see a reflection, but you see this pitch black floor. It almost absorbs the light around it. The walls are made out of just living stone. They're not covered in any type of cobble work or anything like that. No tiles. And then there are these heavy wooden bulkheads, and the doors are set right before these bulkheads. And then there's a set of bulkheads, and then 20 feet, and then another set of doors and bulkheads.
But the doors are like doors that we have to go through to continue, or they're on the sides?
They're on the sides.
No.
And they're opposed. There's 2.
Okay.
And then there's, like 20 feet, another 2, 20 feet, and then you can't see. It goes off into the darkness. And these doors are very large doors. They're made out of what appears to be some type of dark oak. And they have no writing on them, no identifiers. They look absolutely uniform. And as
How wide is this hallway?
it's enough that 2 can walk abreast. As Melagul steps through, being the last one, and he kind of picks himself up, you do notice that the door that you had stepped through is gone. There's just a blank wall there now.
Fleos mutters beneath his breath and touches his eyes. And then blinks rapidly.
Okay. Should we try to see what these doors do and what they go? I mean,
we can't go backwards now.
Where's our rogue when we need her to check for traps?
Look, we made it through the heart.
Dimitri,
Da.
you can do that fancy thing with light, right?
This is true. I cast light on a copper.
Okay.
Said copper
Jim-
glows.
Don't you
But-
need torches or something?
I'm gonna investigate a door for traps. I rolled a non-natural 20.
You look over the door and you don't see anything that would indicate that it has any triggers or traps or pressure plates or strings or any types of attachments that would be used to trigger a trap.
Okay, so I'll look at everybody. Unless you have a fucking reason not to, I'm gonna open this door.
Hold on
Sounds-
for 1 second. Can I see that copper?
I flick it on over to you.
I throw it as far down the corridor as I can throw it.
Yeah, you skitter it down that hallway, lofting at a reasonable distance. Like 20 feet?
I pretty much, after it goes past each bulkhead, I'm making sure like nothing comes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and as you do so, it moves, through the hallway. The floor reflects it, and it's almost like a mirror image on the floor. It's very disconcerting, and it lands on the ground. It kind of slides another 10 feet, and you just see more hallway. It's going and going and going. But again, the doors are separated by 20 feet.
All right. Can I open this now?
You're gonna open the door?
Well, unless anybody wants to stop me, but I'm gonna open gently, peacefully, quietly, and ready to go just in case.
All right.
Sure.
Give me a D6.
A D6.
6.
Like a D6.
Did
like
I
a D6.
stutter?
A 1.
Oh, that's cool. That's the first one on the list. So as you open the door, there's almost like a cool, moist air, and you get the immediate scent of salt. And pulling the door open, you see in front of you suspended a wall of water. And there's
fantastic home.
and there's a gentle blue glow coming out of this water, and it floods into the room. So you open it, and there's like that line of blue, and as you open it a little longer, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And inside, you can see all of these books, and the books are gently flapping, almost as if they have wings, moving through the water.
But it's water. Okay, I close the door and I go to the one across from it and see what's in that one.
Okay, give me another.
I'm not going in fucking water again.
Give me another D6.
Cleos opens that door again and peers back into it.
So looking into it, you see a very large room. Probably, it's further than you can see. There's a glow coming from nearby, but you can't really see the full extent of it. And you see all of these rows of bookshelves. And there are books that are kind of flapping, swimming through, landing on a bookshelf, then getting up and then moving elsewhere. But you also see some shadows moving around in the room.
Well, I rolled a 4 for the other door.
Opening it up, you immediately are bombarded by the scent of sweet flowers, of almost that overly sweet scent that sometimes accompanies deep woods where there's a lot of decaying matter and moss, and a gentle golden light comes out of the room. And looking in, you see this grotto surrounded by trees, long grass everywhere, and there's a temple in front of you. And this is not a room. It looks like almost, you're in the middle of the woods, in a clearing in the middle of the woods with this beautiful golden light coming down. And there's a temple in the middle of the woods, about 20 feet off. And it's run down and falling over. And you see there's like a well-worn path from the door to the temple.
If we're going to explore any of these fucking doors, I'd rather go in the non-wet one.
Curiosity, of all the books that flew out of the water door, if I picked one up and opened it, would I get a sense of what was in it?
They didn't flap out of the water world.
Yeah, they're still inside.
They're like, imagine there's you're at an aquarium and there's fish in front of you. That's basically what
I follow you.
I will certainly call the college boy over to come and take a look.
If we look up to the ceiling of the water world, does it look like there is a surface of the water, or if there's air above it, or if it's just water?
You can see the ceiling about 20 feet above you, and Melagul is looking over your shoulders, this is very disconcerting. I've never seen these rooms before. And he goes over to Ragis's room, and he's like, "This is amazing. There's no space like this in the library." And he's looking at it, he's like, "Where are we?"
Okay.
Magic library.
So, fellas,
No.
what do you say? Should we go check the forest, see what's in there?
I mean, have we opened all the doors?
The doors go off into the distance.
Oh, okay. So there's tons.
Yeah, I would like to look into the water room, from the door. Do I see these books going onto a bookshelf? About how far away is the bookshelves?
There's a bookshelf within 15 feet of you.
I cast Mage Hand, and I'm going to try to pull a book off the bookshelf through the water.
Can you do this to a resisting creature?
Where's my phone?
I think it might be opposed in that case.
Yeah, I don't think it has the strength. If something's resisting, I don't think it can.
It can carry more than 10 pounds. It can't attack, activate magical items, or carry more than 10 pounds. So,
It
DM
can't.
discretion.
Yeah.
It can't carry magical items. Is that what it said?
It can't.
It can't activate magic
Activate,
items.
okay. So up to 5 pounds. Let's just
10.
10 pounds. 10 pounds? Yeah, let's see how much resistance could it generate. Why don't you give, what's the, I guess there's, let me just roll.
Sure.
So this is a DM discretionary one. All right, it fails to break free of your mage hand, and it's fighting. It's flapping really hardcore, and you can see it really doesn't want to come over to you. It's like a fish on the line, and you can feel your mage hand struggling, and it just kind of comes out.
I
Dripping
whisper
wet.
to Ragus, "This is how wizards fish."
I roll my eyes.
Melagul kind of walks over. He's like, I don't know if this is a good idea.
It probably isn't, but we're going to do it anyway.
What's the book doing now that it's in the air?
It's
Oh,
flapping like a
choking.
fish out of water.
I take it and I throw it through the other door into the forest temple area.
No, you're gonna read it.
It flaps like a literally like you threw a fish onto the bank.
I'm just going to be looking into the forest area, see if anything was like, you know what I mean? Like, throw it in there, see if anything responds to it.
Now,
Was there anything on the
It's
pages
just murder book.
when it was grabbed and like sort of passed by me? Did I see anything on the pages?
just more of that wizard script.
It's more the wizard script.
I
So
I
these
go
are
to the book,
books.
pick it up, and I go to bring it back to the water room because
So you go back into that room and pick up the book.
I go into the forest room to pick up the book.
Yeah. So you pick up the book and you enter the forest room, and it's so bizarre because it's like there's just a rip in reality where the door is. Like as you step through, you look back and it's just an open rip in reality. Right? And
Cool.
and you pick up the book, and you know you're immersed in this forest, and it smells rich. This is not some type of hallucination. This is clearly some type of a portal to either another plane or another place on Earth, or whatnot. And then you walk out with the book, and the book is like flapping in your hand, and slippery and wet.
I try and open it and like glance through it as I'm walking it back to the water room. My intent is to throw it back into the water, but I want to try and like get a gist of what it is.
One second. Why don't you? All right, I'm trying to find the right thing. Having a moment.
D&D moment.
I think this is a lot of D&D moments.
Give
Fine,
me a
mention.
diplomacy check.
Diplomacy? That's not a thing.
Oh yeah, is that a 3 thing?
It's not a thing for wizards.
Persuasion?
Persuasion. That's what I wanted. God, 3, 5,
7.
7. So you feel like the book is really resisting you, and you attempt to soothe it the gentlest way you know how, and it actually clamps down on your fingers, and it hurts.
All right, I throw it back into the water
All right,
because I'm afraid of dying.
as you throw it back, a tentacle reaches over, grabs it, and puts it back on a shelf, and then is off out of sight.
Yeah. Are those the
Okay.
shadows that I see?
Fellas, for real, can we leave
Yes.
the fucking water room alone for now and go to the nice little forest?
All right,
Are you
real.
having flashbacks, sir?
Fine. Fleos closes the door to the water room, but he makes a mental note of where it is.
Yeah, I mean it's
If
the
you-
immediate one on the left.
Yes.
If you open that door again,
Oh
is
god.
it a water room?
Yes, you close the door
Yeah.
and you open it again, still the water room.
Well, because Ragus closed it, and then I opened it again, and it was still the
Okay.
water room.
I say we keep looking. Like, let's open just a handful more doors.
Nah.
So Eldon walks up.
Color.
Yeah, let's randomly open 4 more, specifically 4 more.
At least 4 more.
Almost like there are 6 different ones.
Don't make
Yeah.
me improvise. It's fine. It's fine. There's a lot more rooms. What are you gonna do?
I
I
go to
will open another door.
All right, give me 1 second. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Because that's what the college boy has told me to do.
my goal is that we find, and I'm saying this as I'm like walking towards the next door, we find a door that leads to maybe not necessarily a different reality, but one that makes more sense as a library.
Good luck. All right, so opening the next door, you find a room bathed in light, and it's this stark white light. And immediately opening that door, that white light comes out so super harsh. It's just almost like blinding, and snow blows out in a gust, and the door slams open, hitting its hinge, almost bouncing off, and the door kind of rebounding off the wall, and it's clearly at the top of a mountain. You can see just You're at the summit of a mountain covered in snow. Snow's blowing in. A bank is almost washing into the room, and there are all of these icicle formations, and on them, in these beautiful crystalline structures suspended there, are these very thick tomes, but only a handful of them.
Ragus, I found the door for you.
Aye, it looks like a mountain. Reminds me of my old town. I miss me mountain.
Not recommend getting in the cold after being wet. That is how you
Yeah,
get sick.
we tend to stay on the inside of the mountain instead of the outside.
Ah.
How far away is the tomes from the door?
About 30 feet.
Mage hand, trying to pull them out.
Yeah, so you grab one, and it's almost like trailing cold, and like this ethereal essence of cold. And as it reaches your room, you see frost starting to form all over the door and all over the floor, like almost as if it has a radius of cold. And you feel the cold entering your bones as it gets closer.
Does anyone object for me throwing this cold book into the water book and see what happens?
I object.
For a side.
He's trying to torture these books all the time.
As a wizard, I am both stunned, like horrified at the thought of losing a book, but also very curious as to what would happen. So I'm going to let you do it.
Just remember, sometimes the library doesn't like you messing with it.
Aye, that fishy book tried to bite him. Are you sure you want to mess up with a frosty book?
This is a good point, actually.
I'll drop it at like the foot of the door, just outside of the threshold of the door, and we'll ruminate on it. I'll leave it there.
Does it continue spreading frost and rime all over everything?
So as you drop it, yeah, there's basically just like tendrils of ice forming.
Yeah, I kick it back through the door and I close the door.
Okay.
It's on the outside of the. It's not in the
You mean
hallway.
It's
It's
still in the
on.
cold?
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like just before it crosses the threshold. So if we wanted to reach in and get it, we could.
Sure.
Then I simply close the door.
You have to clear out the snow first, because the snowbank has come in with it.
I'll get Mage Hand to start helping.
Do you want me to roll a strength check to see if I
No.
can close the door through some snow?
No, I
All
just need you
bit
to say
fire.
you're clearing out some snow.
To melt it.
This is
Right,
when
so-
Eladin nukes the snow.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Fireball.
clearing the snow. I'm pushing the snow using the door.
Excellent. Yes,
I'm
you
pushing the snow
I
back.
help.
you
with
shoulder
snow.
you shoulder it shut.
Yeah,
Let's see. So we have
I want to fiddle around with magical library snow.
a snowy mountain, we have an underwater octopus thing, and a forest that seems kind of
All
peaceful.
right. Well, you want to keep looking at what else we find?
I am most concerned about the peaceful-looking forest. At least the underwater thing, there's something in there that we know it's there. The books freeze things, we know that. The forest looks a little sketchy.
But there's a temple. There might be books in there if that's what you're looking for.
Fleo's
There's a-
We see
another
books
door.
in the forest, or was the forest just a forest?
There's a temple in
It had a temple.
Ah, okay.
a real forest.
Fleos opens the door across from the snow door.
Opening the door across from the snow door, you are hit with a blast of heat, dry heat, and this scorching, intense sun. And you see what is just a dried, ancient riverbed that's been turned into a desert endlessly. The ground is parched. It has those kind of almost sections where you can see that, there's erosion patterns from it because it's just so absolutely dry that it's eroding away. And there's a scorch mark immediately in front of the door, almost as if some type of really hot, fiery activity happened there. And there are pages, incinerated pages, still smoldering with little tendrils of smoke all around that area. And there's a stack of rocks, almost like something had, they're in a pattern. There's a couple of rocks tumbled around it, and there's
Like
kind
a
of
cairn?
like a cairn, but like as if there were 3 or 4 cairns next to each other, and they'd just been tumbled over.
I look at Eladin. This looks like something you could have made.
You know, I knew a man who was terribly enamored of the desert, said that he was from it, and honestly, every time I've read something or now seen it, I just don't see the appeal, and so I closed the store.
So Sobaya's like, it's good.
Anyone object for me taking this notebook and throwing it into the desert and see what happens?
Yes, I still object to this constant throwing of books from one reality to another reality. I do not think that mixing the worlds in this way is probably a good idea. But I defer to Melagul and College Boy, who... Eladin, where are you?
I'm here. Sorry.
I'm going to go open another door.
Opening another door, you
So
see,
far, there have only been 2 doors that I've actually been interested in going in.
you see a circular room. It appears to be like the top of a tower, and you can see out
The inside of the top of a tower?
the inside of the top of a tower, but with many large windows.
Yes.
And you can see clouds as if you're up amongst the clouds. And in the middle of the room is a large orb suspended, seemingly by nothing, slowly rotating. And you do see little weathered patterns moving across it and tiny ships. And there are all of these continents, and there are little mountain ranges on it. And you know, it seems to be just spinning. And there's like a section that's dark with night, and a section that is bright with day. And around the room are maps, what appear to be maps and scrolls of all types.
So I would recognize this as some sort of incredibly advanced magical atlas.
An incredibly advanced magical atlas, yes.
All right.
I take that back. I've now seen 3 rooms that I'm interested in seeing.
All right. Well, I'm gonna open the one across from that one.
All right.
I'm still peering inside this. I'm actually going to walk into this one. I want to take a look outside one of the windows.
Looking outside the windows, you see that you're above the clouds. You're like actually above the cloud line, and there are clouds all below you. And then below them, you see mountains and fields, but it's all very distant.
Wow.
You know, like being up inside of a plane, you're
Yeah,
very
yeah.
high. You're
Yes.
at least, you guesstimate 15, 16,000 feet from sea level.
That is amazing.
Ragus, you're opening another door.
Yep, the one across.
Opening the door, the next door. It's a smallish room, and it's dark. On the opposite side is a window, and there are all these little sconces that are glowing gently. In the room proper, you see just shelves on opposed sides, where books should have been, but there are no books now. And it's the type of thing where you can see the dust marks from where the spaces were between the books, and there are no books. It's completely devoid of books. And it looks like a cafe. There's a bar with all sorts of devices for making drinks. There are cups that have been set aside, and there's almost a little bit of the stale aroma of tea, coffee, and beer. And the far window looks out into what warms the cackles of your heart. Some type of cavern with stalagmites and stalactites and a gentle green glow coming from it. And there are tables here and chairs of all different types, none of them matching, and most of them are actually upturned. There are large cobwebs. No one's been here in some time.
Is there?
Sorry. Maybe somebody was here in some time, but it hasn't been used for its proper use in some time.
Does it look like there may be beer left somewhere?
No, it's. I mean, you could check. There's a couple of kegs. No, in the wall, set into the wall. A couple of kegs. Asks.
All right. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna go inside until we've actually checked what other rooms might be out there. I think we need to then decide which one we want to go in first.
Yes, I'm going to walk out of this room, but I'm walking slowly out of it. because this is amazing. There's so many maps and so many globes. Can I find Cretea?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can you kind of vaguely it's moving and moving and moving. You're like, there it is.
And so I have a good idea. I can see like the Cretean merchant marine fleet and the naval like just wandering.
Especially larger vessels. You can actually make out all of these larger vessels, and you see all the whole island chain and craft moving from one island to the next.
If I focus on it, can I bring it into sharper resolution?
No.
Okay.
Um,
All right. So I walk back out of this one, and I walk to the doorway of it, and I'm like halfway out with my hand on the inside of the door, and I say, "Well, Eladin, Melagul, where should we go?"
well, I'm gonna still go and open one more, a seventh door, to see if by any chance they start repeating themselves.
Opening the next door, you are in a pitch black forest at night. The only thing breaking the darkness is the somber red glow of a large tree on fire, and the tree is almost swaying in the as it's burning, and all around it are piles of books that are also being incinerated.
Okay. And okay, I'm gonna close and check the one right across just for good measure.
Looking across, you see. Sorry, you're running out.
You think if we keep going, eventually he's gonna run out of ideas?
I mean, maybe.
If he runs out of
Maybe very
ideas,
soon.
35 doors later.
Yeah.
There's only. I won't tell you how many there are.
Philios peers across the hallway. What is a Simonelli?
So looking at the next one, you find a long room, and there are stacks of books on either side and chests running down the center. The stacks with books on them seem like there are far too few books remaining on them. As if, it seems like this should fit thousands of books, and there's maybe a handful. And all these chests are thrown open. The locks are destroyed on the sides. Some of them have been bashed open.
That's the one I want to go in.
Okay.
Yeah, I step inside.
Okay, what are you going to do?
I want to, investigate. What I want to try and do is figure out what could have caused, the damage, if it was a person or magic or something like that. Hey, I'm good at that.
While he goes in, I'm gonna remind you, boy, you may not want to walk into these magic rooms all by yourself. If you really feel like this is where we should start, maybe make sure the whole party follows you, because you tend to get in trouble pretty easily, and you're kind of squishy.
I go in with him.
No response from this.
No, I'm just gonna ignore it. It's background noise.
Yeah, so walking around the room, you do notice something unusual. There are all of these marks on the ground, and they look like you can't really discern what type of animal they are. They have this shape to them, like they're thin-fingered or something like that, and they're scattered all over, and they remind you of you've seen birds walking in the snow or walking on the beach in the sand, and it's almost like that type of pattern but larger. And you see that, and then you just you can't necessarily tell what broke these open, but it looks like whatever did it didn't care so much about doing damage, because there's plenty of damage done to it.
Okay.
Those of you who are in the hallway notice a orb almost speed by you at breakneck speeds. It just kind of like a white orb, pure white, just goes whoosh and flies down the hallway, gently illuminating it, and you see, the hallway goes and goes.
I'm going to
Holy
look at
Tindall, what the fuck was that?
came from, and I'm going to ask Melagul if he knows what that is.
I have never seen anything like this before, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's some type of construct related to the library.
Where did it come from? Was it
Am
coming
I getting
from?
any sort of undead vibe from
No
it?
undead vibe. It is not a will-o-wisp. You've seen plenty of will-o-wisps. Another one zooms by, and it's almost like you see a scroll hanging off of this one as it zooms by. And they're all just these little tiny, like fist-sized white orbs.
And it's just
And
going.
they're coming from the same direction.
They're coming from behind you, but as you're looking at those ones leaving, another one comes towards you and just whoosh, zooms by overhead, and then there's no more.
While I'm in the room with Elodin, I'm just going to take a book off the shelf with Mage Hand, bring it over to me, and just like go through it.
It's just a whole bunch of wizards writing.
Elodin, does this make any sense to you? And
I check it out.
It's like a whole bunch of advanced chemistry and botany put together, and it's describing, some theorem that some postgraduate student came up with.
That you will care about, my friend.
I'm gonna go and tell them. I'm gonna be at the entrance of the door and tell the two that went in, like, fellows, we just got some 2 magic orbs just fly through the hallways. I have no fucking clue what it is.
Well, shit, that's all you had to say, and I rush out of the room and just ask where it went.
I kind of point.
Well, they went in different directions.
Well, let's.
They went that way.
Fleos, pick one and let's go.
Well, we came from that direction, so let's go in that direction.
Lead the way.
You're going the direction you came from?
No, I'm going the direction that we were already walking in, because you said that someone came from behind us where we'd already been, and then so I'm just going to go in the direction of the one that was carrying the scroll.
Got it. So as you go that way,
But and I'm keeping my eyes open.
we're gonna
Eyes
do,
open.
we're gonna do marching order.
All right.
Delete this.
I look like I'm going to be near the front.
I'm gonna be towards the front just to protect people. Maybe not. I don't know if anybody wants to take point. Otherwise, I'll take point.
No, well, I'll take point. But if you want to walk alongside me, that would be much appreciated.
All right.
And then be right behind you two.
I'll be next to him, and I'll take the marching order to go get a new beer.
Definitely not.
Dimitri would be holding up the rear, making sure nothing sneaks up on us.
Yeah.
I'd probably be also in the rear because I'm still walking out of that room.
All right, let's okay, so we'll say that this is the All right, so sorry, we said that I wasn't paying attention when any of you were talking. Fleos, you're at the front. Is that what happened?
Fleos, I guess, in the front.
Yeah, Fleos and Ragus on the front.
Elodin and Isilme in the middle. And then Lucius and Dimitri.
Dimitri in the back.
Do we want to have Melagul and I guess the third roll?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Flanke.
Ellen, you're in the middle. Is that what we were saying?
Yeah, I'm second row. And I'm assuming Isilme will be with me.
Yeah. Did he lose Silbaya? It's fine, but I need to add him in. He's here for these moments. Wait, we didn't.
Hey, speaking of Isilme, should be home any minute.
Yay!
All right.
That was way ominous.
Who is the Dracula theme?
That was super good. That was super good. I like
You
it.
can't play any more of it, or else we're going to owe royalties.
Yeah, you really don't need Konami sending people after us.
Why is this free?
I'm pretty sure that song existed before Konami.
Yeah, possibly.
Well, yeah, but in terms of like prior art and who might actually own the IP currently.
5, 10, 15, 20, so it's kind of like this. Who built these tools?
You did.
I was just gonna say.
Roll20 is going to send me like a very angry email being like, hey, why are you dissing us on live?
If you hate.
No, they just remove your comments.
That's true. Oh
Facts.
shit. All right, so it's kind of like this, where these doors are, and
Oh,
Have you actually looked at any of Roll20's code? Like, is it just terrible or?
no, I haven't looked at it. That would require way more effort on my part. While I type some things, it won't go off screen. That's fine. You're gonna see these in a second.
I like how everybody has a different little thing for their camera. It terribly amuses me that I apparently, I can't really tell if I'm supposed to look like hipster Alfred or if I'm supposed to look like Magnum PI in that picture. But see, like I should have rags in this picture.
I think it's a little more similar.
Yes, definitely.
But I'll go with hipster. I'll go with hipster Alfred. That works for me. I don't know. Yeah, Eladin has the right picture for Eladin.
I don't know, man. I think mine's pretty on point.
Yeah.
All right. Roll. Did I say roll for initiative yet?
Tan and ginger.
I should have put this together before rendering it. Is everyone roll 20?
I don't know.
yes.
If you're on Twitch,
Oh.
you'll see it on Twitch.
Can someone put the Twitch address back into the?
It's just twitch.tv/AAGrapsis, I believe.
I can't see the combat in Roll20. I can see the bridge, our starting logo screen.
All right, we'll give this a shot
I have
and
to
see if
drag this
Got
over
it,
so
yeah.
you can see it on Scratchpad.
Oh,
There we go. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna log in so I can put it there directly.
Yeah, that is a representation of what's going on. What are those?
All right, I need a 6. Oops. 7. And you are an S and an S. E. And then we're going to give them some colors so that we can distinguish them.
All right, let's see.
I think it's the librarian and the people working at the library.
With the candlestick.
You didn't put the books back in the shelf.
plausible.
Yeah, if this is just a weird Welcome to Night Vale reference, scrap this.
I don't see the problem.
For a second, I thought you were going with Something's Wrong with Jack.
Something like what?
Something's wrong with Jack. Something's wrong with Jack.
This.
That was from Ghostbusters?
No, from Nightmare Before Christmas.
No, I mean, what he was playing, was it the thing he was doing in Ghostbusters? They hate when I do this?
Oh.
It might have been.
All right, what do you do?
I hate when you do this.
Oh, it's these stats.
I will very likely go mute in 2 to 5. It's only gets home.
Yay.
So if I'm not answering, that's fine. Oh, and it's
Time to get ill.
Keep typing in the wrong window. I have 2 computers. We're getting there. We're getting there. And let's add Isilme too, and I will roll for Isilme. Oh, she got nat 20.
you got to 20 for initiative.
What do you think? I love it.
What's her bonus? Whatever, I'm just gonna set her to 30.
I think it's 3. It's either 3 or 4.
And I need to roll for Sylvia. Ooh, also a good roll. And Malagor.
Is he actually gonna do something this time?
I don't know.
Doubtful.
It's kind of useless last combat.
Only time will tell.
That's fine though.
Okay. So, we're gonna take a break while we wait for Islame, I think, to join us. Does that sound good?
All right.
Since she's
Okay.
in. So I'm gonna put on the break screen. We're gonna be right back.
Bye.
6-player. Okay. We are live again.
Hello.
Live from New Jersey. It's Thursday night.
Grabsis, did you add me to the
And
initiative?
Pulse.
Do you need me to add you to the initiative? What is your
Yeah.
what is your value?
Because I rolled it manually.
Why do
It's
I always
20.
have 2 Eldens?
I don't know.
Terrifying prospect.
You said it's 20?
That's 2 too
21.
many.
Oh. Descending. All right, Islame, take us into combat. Okay, so sorry, I didn't tell you anything that happens. What kind of DM am I? All right, so as you're opening these doors and shutting them, these orbs shoot by, and then they come back, and you're kind of beginning to walk to where the orbs were going off to. And as you do that, one of the nearby doors explodes open, basically bursting, and a Kenku rolls through, and just kind of like, and it just kind of runs a little bit, and then looks back at you, and has a moment of like, oh. And then another Kenku runs in, and a whole set of Kenkus run in. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them just kind of burst through, weapons out, looking at you. And then the frame of the entire door explodes and bursts as this large creature composed entirely of books. And it has a large tome for a face, and then just smaller books everywhere, all leather bindings, all kind of flapping all about it. Reaches out and grabs one of the Kenkus and throws it against the wall. So this orange one is now down. Falls to the ground, smashing against the wall, and it looks at all the others and just gives out this loud guttural, and it's like a dry roar. And it looks at all of them, and you can see that there's like books on it that have had the bindings broken, and there are bits of leather hanging off of it, some other pages that have been torn. It's just this amalgam of abused books. And at the same time, Islame and Fleos, because you have the best passive perceptions ever, notice that out from the shadows behind you emerge 2 more Kenku. So Islame.
Cool. Right now, though, the Kenku haven't exhibited any behavior of aggression towards us, right? It's more just crazy book monster.
Crazy book monster. The Kenku are carrying all these packs and satchels. And
Okay.
the one that just fell over, his satchel spills on the ground and it's full of books that
Let's see.
tumble to the ground. Oh, and
Okay.
all of these Kenku have one very important distinguishment. So I need to go to the top of my notes to find. All of these Kenku have a hand imprinted on them in paint, and each finger of the paint is a different color. So there's a red one, a blue one, an orange one, etc., etc., etc.
Okay.
And I will remind you, in case all of you have forgotten, you've seen handprints before that look similar to this one.
Right.
Where on their bodies is this handprint located?
It's all. Each one has one in a different place. It might be on a shoulder. It might be on their chest. One might have it across their face. But each one of them exhibits it.
Is the entire handprint one color and they're just different colored handprints? Or
No.
you said that?
No, each finger is a different color.
Each handprint is a rainbow.
So this is a little bit different than the last time we saw them. All right.
But each of them has the same rainbow handprint.
You got it.
Okay. They're all the same. That's fine.
And the
All
Kenku,
right.
the Kenku are all chattering. They're not speaking any language you recognize. It's almost like clicks, pops, a sound of a door opening, the hammer falling. They're all making all of these noises that sound like other things that you've heard before. You know, there's the sound almost. You're like your hair stands on end. There's the sound of a guillotine as it goes.
Cool. Okay.
Are
So
Kenku-
last question.
I'm sorry. Go.
No, is there anywhere, just because I kind of missed the setup of this hallway or whatever, is there anywhere to hide or any
There are
stuff?
bulkheads, but the bulkheads aren't really large enough to hide. So you do see that there are some bulkheads. For example, like there's a bulkhead here. A bulkhead here. Who built this? I hit escape on the wrong keyboard. That's why. This is what happens when you have too many keyboards in front of you at a single time. This is like,
Tell Paul Schaefer.
all right, we're almost there. There we go. They're bulkheads like this.
All right. For now, I'm just going to run up to the book monster, try and slash with my small sword, disengage, and run back as much as I can movement-wise. So I think it's 5, 10, 15, 20. 20 feet toward it and then 10 feet back. Does that work?
You move 20 feet towards it? Are you going to...
Yeah, so then I'll attack, and then after I'm going to disengage and back
So
up.
5... What did this pop up for? I didn't touch anything. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. If you don't want to be next to this Kenku, you need to be 25. Is that okay? Because otherwise 20 lands you here.
Yep, and then I want to use my last 10. Sorry, I was just telling you all the movement ahead of time. Then I want to use my last 10 at the end, and I'm going to back up. So I guess, can I?
So you're going to move 20 here?
Yep, and then my last 10 move back.
Are you going to use disengage with your bonus?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Just making sure. All right, so you close the distance.
Sorry, that was all said in a really confusing way.
Yeah. You close the distance with the book golem and the Kenku. The Kenku looks at you and makes like a low hissing sound, like a. The golem hasn't even noticed you. It's so busy, angrily jostling and throwing about the Kenku.
Okay, so I'm just going to attack with my small sword. And that is a 25.
A hit.
The hit. And then I think I get my sneak attack, right, with my new thingy. 1 second. You don't need advantage on the attack roll to use your sneak attack of a creature. You are within 5 feet of it. No other creatures are within 5 feet of you, and you don't have disadvantage on the attack roll.
You have a creature within 5 feet of you.
Could I move to this one instead?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Oh, and feel free to move your characters on roll 20.
Yeah, I just realized I could still do that. Okay, yeah, so then that would include my sneak attack. So it's crappy, but that's all right. 9 points of sneak attack, and then 8 points piercing damage from the sword.
17.
So 17.
Yeah, so you sink your small sword in and kind of rip apart one of the bindings and then slash, and the book just kind of falls off of it and falls to the ground in shreds, and it releases this low turns its face towards you.
And then I disengage and back up my last 10 feet.
Right.
Got it.
Leos.
All right, DM question.
Piss them off and go away. Huh?
I'm sorry. What?
No, I was saying she pisses him off and then goes away.
Yeah, I just go poke him with a pointy sword or pointy stick and then back up.
DM question. Are Kenku known in Arawath, or is this part of the...
Good question. So, Kenku are not the type... So, if you recall, at the beginning of this campaign, way back when we started it, I said that monsters were a rarity. They were more like folklore than anything else. A friend of a friend of a friend might have seen a monster once, just like how people who have seen ghosts. And, recently we've seen orcs, and we've seen hobgoblins, and what have you.
Are Kenku monsters, or are they just woodland beings?
They are a monster.
Okay.
They are a medium humanoid. So they're not really they're not as monstrous as the other monsters you've encountered, but still at the same time, they're not really something you've seen. Now, you being who you are, and Islame being who she is, may have caught a glimpse of one once, or thought you caught a glimpse of one, or found some remnant of them in a place, but they're not really known to be common or more than a fairy tale.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out I'm just trying to figure out, because obviously Corey knows a lot about Kenku. I don't know if Fleos knows a lot about Kenku.
Right. So to you, you see them, and they're these large, almost raven-like creatures, and it looks like somebody took a raven and morphed them into a humanoid, and they have, you know, these arm-like wings, but they don't look super useful. The long kind of curved beak, a twinkle in their eye, and they're wearing hoods, and they're almost a little slouchy, and they have these short swords that they're all wielding and have out, and you see like little bits of book even sticking off some of their short swords, like they've already been fighting this golem.
Okay. So now the captain is directly to the left of me. So I'm going to turn to the captain and I'm going to say, "Wait, so we're attacking the book monster and not the Kenku." Wait, are you muted?
Sorry, I'm filling the other Corey in. What did you ask me? So sorry.
Oh. Well, you're the captain. So, Captain, wait, we're attacking the book, not the thieves.
Well, the golem seems pissed.
Are we just attacking everything? I just want to know what to kill.
Go for it. Everything. I'm attacking the books.
All right, fine. So in the assumption that we're attacking everything, I'm just going to go with yeah, let's just go with yeah. We'll keep it simple. So then, in that case, I'm going to rummage around in my pockets, and I'm going to pull out a bit of tallow, a pinch of brimstone, and a dusting of powdered island. I'm going to grind it together, blow it forwards, and I'm going to guide it and condense it together as a ball of flame. Right? Is that the right one? Yes, right there.
Okay.
So, flaming sphere. How do you want to do this?
This one persists, yes?
It persists, but I believe that... So technically... Hold on, let me read it.
It's in their turn if they're still occupying the space, I think, right?
Yeah, if they're occupying the space around it, then they take the 2d6 damage.
Right, so why don't you draw a circle or... Are you in Roll20?
I am. Hold on. Let me draw a shape here. If memory serves, this freaks out on Ubu when I try to draw circles for whatever reason. So I'm just going to draw it as a square.
Square's totally fine.
All right. So yes, flaming sphere, DC Dex 15, DC check for whenever it's their turn, and that should hit this guy.
You're whipping it around to hit them?
No, it's if you're within one square of it.
Yes. We haven't used this in a while. I'm good. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. So that's my turn, and then yeah. As for my movement, I'm going to let's back up to right here. I'll cast Shillelagh just in case I happen to need it, and I'm going to. Actually, I spent such a long time talking with the captain. I don't think I have time left to talk about what's behind us. So hopefully somebody notices.
Excellent.
That's the end of my turn.
All right. It is all the Kenku's turn. So those four who are three that are proximal. I'll make save. Do they make a save? Yeah.
Dex 15. Yes.
They're pretty good at Dex. But yet, two of them managed to fail. So roll for damage on those two. Just one damage roll, and we'll apply it to both of them. So we'll say orange and blue fail.
Yeah. So it's 8 if they failed, 4 if they passed.
Andrew, FYI, I failed my composure check. So I shall be going apeshit.
I like it when you go apeshit. It's very satisfying. All right. So those 3 Kenku burst into a little bit of flame. Oh, the golem has to save. Oh, that's not the golem's turn yet. It's fine. The 3 Kenku kind of burst into flames. 2 of them really kind of on fire and really burning. And then the third one just kind of like getting all of these flames and brushing them out. The Kenku looks slightly pissed off about this. This one closes with Ragus, and let me pull up my. This is the one issue. I need more screens somehow. All right, it's the most important thing. Care stats, AC. There we go. I can see it. Ragus, you're a 19 right now. AC. Steven?
Sorry,
Right.
I was muted. Yeah, I'm 19 because I don't have the shield, and you have advantage because I am crazed.
Excellent. All right. So the first one runs up to you, and you hear it say, like, and it takes its short sword, and it goes to strike you, and the short sword comes down, and you bring your. You don't have a shield right now either, right? You have your.
No, it's just an axe.
It's a two-handed
Two-handed
axe.
axe.
And you just kind of take it and meet the short sword and brush it aside. These are Kenku. They're not going to be able to hurt you. And then this orange one gets up for half their movement and then goes 5, 10, 15, closes to here. Is that right? Yeah, 15. And it's going to attack you as well. And its first strike, one of its strikes hits. Let's see how much damage.
Wait. By how much? Because I can use my shield as reaction.
Give me it. 24.
So I mean, if I do shield, it would put me at 24.
So it'll hit.
It'll hit still? Okay. So never mind then. I don't cast it.
And it doesn't. They do like no damage. It's cool.
I
It
know,
does
I'd rather-
9 points of damage. So it runs up to you, and as you're distracted by blocking the other one, it just brings its short sword into your belly and rips out a tiny chunk. And you see it's like and makes this slashing sound with its mouth as it, pushes the short sword into you. All right.
There shall be revenge.
This red one attacks the golem. And it brings its sword around. It kind of hits into the side of it, and the sword barely kind of glances off of one of the bindings, looking like it was ineffective. The blue one, having taken a whole bunch of fire damage, is like, and it kind of moves into the fireball, and then right past the fireball, it's staying around here, and it's just kind of moving around, trying to get as far away from the...
If it moves through the fireball, it takes a save again.
Let's do it. I kill it. Maybe not.
9.
9 damage.
Or
Awesome.
4 if it saves.
All right. What was it? 16 DC?
15.
15.
Next
It saves. So 4. All right. So yeah, it runs through. It's terrified, and it bursts into more flames. It's like and it looks really terrified. And then the green one kind of is like, and moves away as well. And then these two down here close the distance. Team Dimitri. Lucius. All right, so it's going to attack Dimitri and Lucius. Dimitri, 18 AC.
Da.
It walks up to you, and it brings its short sword down. You just bat it away with the shield. Lucius, this one comes at you, and yeah. And it brings its short sword around, and you go to parry it, and it just kind of changes directions at the last moment, and it does 7 points of piercing damage. That's it for the Kenku.
DM question.
What's up?
Did the green one also run through the fireball?
No, it went around it after it saw its friend, get immolated. Solbaya is going to take a shot with his bow at the book golem, and it goes wide. Takes a second shot, and it also goes wide. I rolled a 2 and a 3. Such is life. Ragus.
Okay, so if I look at how they're set up, if I were to do a 15-foot cone ahead towards all these fuckers, do I hit the 3 that are in front of me?
I think if you were to do a cone, it would be like such. Half a second.
Are you talking about Thunderwave?
No, I'm talking about Burning Hands.
I think it's like this 15-foot. Wait, no, that's a 5, 10, 15. Yeah, 15 foot cone. Oh, cone.
Okay.
No, wait, the cone, right? No.
Yeah, cone.
Yes. Is this how a cone is? I forget.
That's
The
a
cone originated
triangle.
from his square.
All right,
Square.
but
so we go then like the keyboard this time.
But I guess my main question was, do I get to
Of course,
hit
red
all
now.
3 that are in front of me?
I'm going with you can hit all 4.
Okay, but wait, if it's 15, this is, do I go one more square and can I hit the asshole that's in the back as well?
Well, is it? Yeah, I have to look up the rules because we haven't done cones in forever. Okay, we can say sure.
It's the 5 in front of them, then the 10 after that, and then the 15 after that.
The 5 in front of him, then the 10, then the 15. Like this.
Yeah, like
Like this.
let's see if I can find.
Like this.
Oh, then that's my misunderstanding.
So wait, realistically, wait, can I draw it as well?
Everybody can draw. Just draw in a different color.
So it starts with him. It'd be this square. Then these, like, everyone's drawing on top of each other. So never mind.
So wait, is my blue not correct?
This blue is correct.
All right.
Okay.
Now, if I grab that and I tilt it to the left, I should be able to hit purple, green, blue, and the monster.
There's no
right?
one who says, so if you want to tilt it this way,
Yes.
there's no one
From
who says
me.
you have to shoot it straight in front of you.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm trying to hit as many people as possible. So I guess I won't be hitting the orange one, but I try to hit the other 4 creatures in front of me.
Sure, it's fine. I don't really care so much. You can hit all 4.
All right. So I do a 2nd level Burning Hands, and they have to do a dex save of 14.
All right, all of them have to make dex saves of 14. Let's do the Kenku first. Save. All 3 save. And the Golem also saves.
Also saves. All right. So they're gonna get half damage, which basically means that we're looking at 7 plus 9. That's 16. So they get 8 damage each.
All right, so what was this spell?
This was Burning Hands.
Excellent. Mark them down real quick. 8.
Right? Wait. Did I do my math right? 7, 12, 16. Yeah. 16 divided by 2 is 8, right? Yes.
So
Good.
flames shoot out of your hands in this cone, and the Kenku, the blue one's already like, ah! And it's just completely panicking with fear. It's burning everywhere. Its feathers are just kind of rolling up as the embers are working up them and just consuming its feathers, causing all these bald spots to appear, and the others just begin to burn as well, and the golem's bindings unleash this scent of burning leather throughout the hallway, and it looks really pissed off at this point. Anything else, Ragus?
Yeah, I wink at Aladdin. Guess you're not the only one that can emit flames.
All right,
You're muted.
still muted.
My fault. Sorry.
Yeah,
I forgot he's using my mic.
that's fine. I said that's literally the same spell I used to burn you, so that's kind of poetic justice.
No, it's not. All right, Aladdin's turn.
How are these Kenku looking?
Some are better than others.
Like,
Blue,
all right,
blue looks pretty bad shape. The other ones look like they're mostly just they're hanging on. They're good.
okay. So I'm actually going to do exactly what Ragus did, and I'm going to move here, and from there I should be able to hit all 4 of them, right?
Well, you're gonna hit Ace to me as well.
He has
No,
spell
he can
shape.
shape.
Don't hit me.
Okay.
So I am also going to cast Burning Hands as a 2nd level spell.
You better not hit me.
Can't hit you.
What's the DC?
16.
I mean, you
Save,
could if you,
save. One fails.
if you try to do it on purpose, you could hit me.
Blue
So that's
fails.
why-
So it's the same exact thing. 4 if they save, 8 fire damage if they fail.
8 fire damage if they fail. 4 if they save. No, his was 8 if they failed. His did more damage than you.
Yeah, mine was 16, and then 8 if they fail.
Oh, I didn't upcast mine. Hold on. $12 if they save, if they fail, and 6 if they save. Sorry.
He still did more damage than you, dude.
I know.
Just
Yeah,
saying.
because modifiers don't get added to damage.
All right, so it's
Some fire
12,
with
12 or 6, right? So 12
Yeah.
and then 6 and 6 and 6. All right, you cast flames. Seeing Ragus, you decide to copy him. Flames shoot out of your hands, smolder across them. And this is 20, 32. This one's dead. And the blue one, it starts running around on flames and falls over, legs kicking out, beak kind of getting consumed in the flames, its flesh burning away. Smells like chicken. And is dead. Bored.
Ravens don't smell like chicken.
How do you know?
Been a long time
They
since
smell
I've eaten some raven pie. Anything else, Eladin?
That's all I got, man.
And it's Melagul's turn. And Melagul closes 5, 10, 15.
Forgot about
2 dozen
25.
coupons.
And he's turning to you as he's running. He's like, What are you doing? It's clearly Library Guardian. And he casts Mend. And he begins mending the bindings on the creature. And you hear him say, "It's okay, we're wizards." Dimitri's turn.
Sorry.
Oh,
So maybe
Dimitri-
we pissed off the wrong creature.
Dimitri just went away. Of course.
No, I'm here.
Hmm.
Oh, listen, I just have the camera off.
Excellent. Well, it's your turn, sir.
Cobra.
Okay. So Dimitri is probably going to launch a guiding bolt at the big fucking paper golem.
Wait, but that Malaka just said that he's the
Wait, what?
guardian and he tried to save him,
Oh, okay. So then,
right?
in that
I mean, if I got
case-
that right.
Yeah, that is basically what he said, except for the Malaka part.
Malakaka, something like that. All right.
Get it.
Then in that case, let's see. What can I do? Where are my spells?
Also, on a side note, I rolled an 8 for initiative and never added me into the initiative count.
Got you.
Oh
Oh no, you're in here, right here. Lucius 8.
I don't see it either. It happens.
Yeah, roll
Yeah.
20 for some reason is really bad at transmitting data. Roll 20.
All right,
Okay,
because it
so
did
then
show up in the order. So.
I would cast command on the golem and be like,
better be right.
command, and be all, peace be upon you.
All right. Let's see. So we're going to determine this, wisdom saving throw. What's the wisdom saving throw DC?
It is, I believe, 19, 18. Let me double check. Come on, paper. Okay, DC of 16.
It succeeds its save.
Sons of a beach. Okay, well, I tried. That's all I got. I'm gonna hold a defensive posture, but not actually take the defensive action because I use my action.
All right. Golem is attacking the Kenku nearest it, and yeah, it's gonna hit said creature. There it is.
Too many fucking things open right now.
Slam attacks. Woo. All right, where are my d8s at? It grabs this Kenku, the red one, and slams into it, and it smashes the Kenku's skull into the ground. Bits of brain matter just kind of splash out, almost as if you dropped a pile of spaghetti with meatballs. It just goes all over the floor, skittering across it, gray matter, and it just stomps on the skull after that, killing the Kenku.
Nice.
And it looks back at you all and goes, Lucius.
I am going to take. Gonna start by taking 2 attacks at the one right in front of me.
Got it.
It's like 23 for the first one.
Hits.
17 for the second one.
It hits.
5. So 11 points of slashing damage.
All right. You bring your whips. Your whips?
Whips, yeah.
Yeah. Bring your whips around, smash across one of its sides, whoosh, and it rips his clothing, draws a bead of blood, and the second one he whips across it, whoosh, and draws another bead of blood, and it looks up at you, and it looks like you did some damage, but it's still in the fight.
Okay. I will then use my, I guess, bonus action offhanded attack with one more time with my whip. That's going to be like 24, and I'm going to make this a slashing flourish. So I'm going to burn an inspiration, and I get to add a d8 to it. I'm sorry, not a slashing flourish, a defensive flourish. Max damage. So another 15 points of damage, and my AC goes up by 8.
Ooh, wow, okay. Let me make note of that.
Oh.
Until the start of my next turn.
Oh, okay. So no big deal. All right. So you go up to 22.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I like to think I'm just like taking both my whips and persistently cracking them around them so no one can get close to me.
Yeah, so you basically take your whips and you crack out, because that's what it's doing. Crack out a whole bunch more strikes on this Kenku, drawing a bead across its face, another one across its neck, and it looks like you did a substantial amount of damage to it, but it's still standing. Isilme.
All right. I guess I'll just attack the green one that's in range. That's fine. And I will use both swords. So small sword first. Ooh, that's terrible. That's really terrible. I'm assuming a 9 doesn't hit.
9.
That's freaking 2. And then in my other hand, that's the rapier. It's a little better. 16.
16 hits.
Yay. That is 6 points of piercing damage, 18 sneak attack.
So 24?
Yes.
All right, and this is against green. You go into green and you go with for your first strike, and it kind of just like sidesteps, and as it sidesteps, you bring your rapier around and just go from one side of the chest into the other, out through the other side, piercing through the heart. And there's a moment as the Kenku kind of like leans against the blade, and then you whip it out, causing even more rending damage. And it just kind of touches itself and looks at the blood, and then staggers forward and then falls dead.
Bye-bye.
Who's watching TV in the background?
That's probably my housemates in the back.
No respect for the Dungeons and Dragons gods. I see how it is.
Sorry, champ.
I was waiting for you to say it was your wife.
Nope.
Not you.
This video is actually playing.
All right, Isselman, anything else?
No, that's my turn.
Leos.
Nowhere to go.
Oakley dokley. So first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start walking. I probably need to use the select tool. So I'm going to start walking myself over here to this angle, just so that I've got a better view of things. And as I'm doing that, I'm just sort of absent-mindedly going to just bring my flaming ball of death down here and just smash it into this guy here, orange or pumpkin, whatever color you prefer to call that. Pumpkin? Taupe?
Pumpkin.
Yeah. All right. It's very seasonal. Anyway, pumpkin. I'm going to smash that into pumpkin. And then with my actual action, I am going to take out a short switch, just a little sprig of blackberry vine that I haven't used recently. And I'm going to mutter a few words with it and just going to shake it out a little bit and thorn whip the Kenku that's standing in front of Dimitri here, which the cream Kenku. Yeah, so I'm gonna thorn whip the cream Kenku, and that is
Vanilla.
Oh, is it the vanilla Kenku? Vanilla Kenku. All right, vanilla Kenku.
Poor guy.
So that's 8 damage to the vanilla Kenku. I need the pumpkin Kenku to make a DC 15 Dex.
It fails it safe.
Can you guys like polymorph him into an actual pumpkin?
I'm done with
I can't. I don't think I can polymorph things into
Objects?
into plants, or at least not inanimate plants. I could maybe transform it into one of the pumpkin monsters that we saw last year. So just 5 points of damage for that Kenku up against the wall, the pumpkin Kenku.
Yeah, so you summon just this thorns that spike into the first one. You turn to the second one, command your ball, and it hits into it, bursting in flames. And they're both still standing, but you did damage.
Good.
Anything else?
That will be the end of my turn.
Excellent. Kenku's turns. 2 Kenkus are attacking Ragus, and they're both advantaged. Right?
Dex 15 save.
Oh, yeah, because they're right there. They both fail their saves.
Let's roll a little bit better right now and see if I can't save my old buddy, old pal, Peter Parker. I mean, Ragus. 8.
8 points of damage.
8 points of damage.
All right, and that's purple. So purple bursts into flames and kind of like begins, and orange bursts into flames as well, and goes down. Flaming, smoldering mess on the ground. Oh, I deleted the most. Don't Control Z. Okay, but that doesn't add it back to the order because why would it be atomic? Add turn. Really move. Sorry. Okay. This one's dead. Nothing like housekeeping. All right. Smolders on the ground, and ash begins to kind of fall away from its body, and you see bones beginning to be exposed as flesh is just consumed by the flames. But the purple one is still alive and manages to take a swipe at Ragus and misses. And who else is left? We have these two Kenku down here. One will attack Dimitri.
Fuck that shit, man.
One of these. And is going to hit Dimitri. For 7 points of damage. Whatever. And
Come
the
on, man.
second is going after Lucius, who currently is at 22 AC. And is going to miss. So it's kind of warded back by your blows, and it kind of takes a swipe, but it's nowhere near you. Solbaya is gonna take 2 shots at the vanilla. Thank you. One of them hits. And he, if it is yellow, does a whole bunch of damage to it. Arrow flies off, lands squarely in its chest. A squirt of blood shooting out and staining the cobblestones. There's no cobblestones. The marble. Ragus.
All right. Well, I'm gonna, since I'm all angry and stuff, I'm gonna hack at that purple asshole that's in front of me. I'm gonna leave magic for other people, even though I did better than the wizard.
Hey, whoa.
So that's a 18 to hit.
You hit.
And let me find my D12. 6. Ooh, perfect 12. So I do 18 damage.
You bring your axe around overhead and just bring it level to the neck and sever the head from the body. The body takes like a step forward and then falls down. The head rattles to the ground, beak clattering against the marble floor.
Excellent. Now, since I'm allowed a second attack, do I have time to run between attacks down there?
Yes, you do. You can divide your movement any way you see fit.
All right. So I'm gonna go here, and then I'm gonna. Which one looks stronger right now?
They're roughly equivalent.
Okay, I'll go for the pink one because why not? Actually, no, I'll go for the yellow one because that way our healer is a little safer. All right. So that's a nat 20. So that's a 20. How much? 29 to hit, I think.
Oh,
Yes.
goodness. And roll another d20 because if you get another 20, we're going to quadruple the damage.
Do I get advantage on that one as well or no?
No.
Okay. No, 15.
Okay, so
All
you're
right.
just doing double damage. Only.
Okay. So that would be, what is that, plus 6, so it's 14, 19 damage.
19 damage. You bring your axe overhead and then just bring it down, and the blade buries itself in the skull of the Kenku, splitting it almost all the way down. And then you kind of retch on it, and then throw it kind of like almost like a baseball bat to the ground, and the Kenku goes with it straight to the ground. And then you take your foot, put it on the Kenku's throat, pull out the blade, and the head just splits open, spilling Kenku brain everywhere.
Great. So
Anything
there's
else?
one kind left, basically?
That's vanilla,
So-
right? We were talking about vanilla.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, although vanilla beans are black, but that's a different story. But yeah. So I'm going to take an action surge then and basically attack the other one because let's kill these fuckers. And I'm in rage anyway. So that's a 17.
Hit.
Okay. And that's 11 damage.
And looking at this one, you just feel in that moment connected to your blade, your ancestors, your entire heritage. And you bring your axe overhead, bring it around, and land it squarely in the throat, cutting through the upper body of the Kenku. And it takes a moment and grasps at your blade, and its hands are beginning to bleed, and you just kind of saw it down into the Kenku's heart, and then rip it free, and then take the back and smash it in the face, and it goes down, and it's clutching at all this blood that's pouring out, and it just dies gargling on its own fluids.
Right. And that one was the last one anyway, right?
Yeah, all the
Of
Kenku are
those?
dead.
Okay, so just for good measure, I'm gonna chop his head off, and because I had an extra attack, I used it on him, just
Excellent.
out of pure anger. I don't know if the roll matters, but yeah.
I was just gonna say we should keep one alive, but we probably can't talk to it anyway.
Yeah, and I'm in berserker mode right now, so
Just like, wait, stop, and you're just.
yeah. All right, so that's all for me.
Eladin.
He was gonna firebolt one, but is anyone left?
Just the
Oh,
goal.
there was the book guy, and then Malagu was basically trying to save it.
Has anything been done or said since he tried to do that?
It hasn't been Melagul's turn yet.
Then I guess Eladin is going to hold his action until the golem attacks.
And if it attacks, he will then cast some spell.
Firebolt it.
Sure.
Yes.
All
That's
right.
good.
It's Melagul's turn, and he closes the distance with the book golem, and he says, "No, please, it's okay. Just be calm, Guardian. Be calm. And he casts a spell at the beginning saying, "Be calm," and you see all these runes forming in front of him, and he flips his hands around and moves them, and then the runes kind of expand and evaporate around the golem, and there's a moment the golem's kind of like this, moving side to side, and it kind of hunches its back. Dimitri, your turn.
Okay. If that is the case, then I will try command again and just be like, continue to be like, calm yourself, golem.
What's your DC?
16 again, wisdom.
There's a moment, it's already kind of hunched and going like this, and it doesn't breathe, but it has a moment of... It looks like it was effective.
Yay! And then Melagul, like, I'm taking your lead here. What do we do next? And I wait, and I end my turn.
And he's standing in front of this like it's a T-Rex, like it's a velociraptor or something, all hunched over, hands kind of like in its blind spot, trying to subdue it. And the book golem's turn, the book golem kind of looks at you, and it actually takes a knee, and you can hear the creak of the book bindings bending, and it begins picking up all of the dropped books from the Kenkus. Lucius.
I'm gonna move. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna move about to me, and I'm just going to hold an action with my whips and just seeing if this thing, starts getting feisty again. And then that's it.
Islame.
I am going to, or am I here? I'll just walk over to where one of the dead Kenku is and like pick up a couple of the books and see if I can glean anything off the cover and try and hand it towards the golem. Like I'll seem kind of like carefully, just here you go.
Excellent. Yeah, it responds, right? It kind of has a moment, it looks over at you, and it takes them and it hastily adds them to its body.
Can I read anything on the cover, or is it still that wizard language? Okay.
Yes.
I guess I'll make my way over to Melagul, and I'll see. I'm going to ask him. Do you require any further assistance mending this construct?
Get back to you on his turn. Anything else?
No, I'm just going to hold an action. If he says that he would appreciate more assistance with mending it, then I will add, like a mending cantrip.
Solbaya knocks an arrow.
I'm going to dismiss my fireball, though. I'm going to do that before Isilme starts standing next to it.
Wise. Solbaya knocks an arrow. And he's like, I don't trust it. Gragas. You're muted.
Okay. It was killing the same things we were killing. Looks calm? I don't know, guys. Actually, technically, wait, sorry. I'd be super angry because it's my last round of being berserk mode. It's like, there's fucking kill things! So unless anybody wants to try to calm me down, I'm going to make my way towards him and getting ready. I guess, no, the good thing is that he's too far for me to reach him.
Yeah.
I'm a dwarf and all.
Unless you throw your axe.
I know, but since he looks calm, I feel less threatened. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can get here, and I just get ready just in case I need to. I ready in action. If I actually see him do something aggressive, I will throw my axe at it.
Excellent. That brings us back to Eladin. I'm clearing initiative. All right.
All right.
So,
If Melagul doesn't need any assistance, I'm going to busy myself collecting useful parts of the Kenku.
yeah, go ahead. Busily collect all the useful parts of a Kenku. So as you do that, Melagul walks up to and says, we're just friends. We're trying to help the library. We're looking for our friends. And he's talking to this book collection of books as if it understands them. And it picks up like the last of the books, bringing them into its body, and it looks at all of you. And there's a moment as it kind of is just evaluating you, and it kind of touches its heart like this, like, and then touches its back, points here, and then touches its head, and points towards the end of the hall, and then turns back to the damaged door and walks through it.
I guess it's missing its heart, its back, and its head.
Yeah. Once Fleos is done harvesting from the Kenku, I would be bringing the bodies over and doing sort of like a last rites type thing.
Sure.
And
I'll
helping them ease their transition to to the other side.
Yeah, I'll join Dimitri on that. And actually, I have a thing to use about that. Fantastic. So I will also, because I've been paying attention somewhat, join you in your rights to Sindrel, and at the appropriate time, I'm going to lift my hand and I'm going to touch my fingers into the center of my palm in a specific order, and I'm going to touch the various bodies, and each body is going to start to sprout just sort of like fungus and
yes.
and various other there might be a few detritivores that crawl out of them as well, but they're going to slowly just turn into mulch and sort of beach sand, and eventually just sort of crumble away into the corner.
That was very nice of you.
Islame, give me insight check.
Okay. 17.
So you're thinking back as everybody's performing these actions, and you're cleaning off your small sword and your short sword, your rapier. You're thinking back to what the golem was trying to say, and you know the room you were just coming from was kind of the heart room. And you just ponder on that.
She's pointing us towards the head. Possibly. I'll say that out loud.
I mean, that is what she said in her book. Like, if it has a heart, it must have a brain.
Mhm.
So intuitively, it makes sense that we would go towards the brain.
I'm sorry to ask, but is the floor yellow and made of bricks?
It is not yellow and made of bricks. It is black as night and shiny and polished.
Okay. I just thought if we have to look for a brain,
You
a
just
heart,
found the straw man,
courage.
the
It's
paper man.
plausible.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we have to head to the head.
All right, so you're just gonna go down the hallway.
Yeah.
Unless
So we're
Elodie-
forging ahead.
I
Better
guess that's
idea.
the way he pointed, yeah.
Yeah. Soulbai's like, I'm going. He starts leading the way.
Hey, you play your character so perfectly.
So you all are moving down the hallway and counting the doors. 33 doors. It's 66 total. 33 pairs
On
of
each side.
doors. Give me a insight knowledge. I don't know, man. What would you? You know what? Just do an Arcana check on that, Eladin and Fleos. You too.
Arcana?
You can use nature, knowledge, nature. You can use nature if you want. For you.
27.
Hey man, what's 30? What's there 33 of that links from one part of the body to the next?
I feel like I
Could
Mr. Biomedical Engineer. What is?
yeah? Could I do like an insight check there as a trained medical professional?
Yeah, you can use medicine.
Use medicine. Okay.
So
Okay, even better. Net 20 plus 8.
Okay,
Ooh.
vertebrae in the
Yeah.
human body. 33.
We're in the
Hey guys,
spot.
this might just be a coincidence, but it seems like we're traveling up this creature's spinal column, going up his vertebrae here.
So at the
So
very,
intuitively, that means that we should be able to get to the top, which is the head.
Ideally,
at the very end of the
And we came
hall,
from the heart.
after a rather long walk, at the very end of the hall, you see two large doors, and you see a couple more of these orbs, and they actually touch the door and get absorbed through it. And then another one comes back out, and there are stacks of books, kind of haphazardly stacked. Like, not nice, neat stacks. These are piles. There's piles of books outside this door, kind of almost waiting.
waiting
I'm
for
gonna
what?
check the doors.
Go.
See if they look weird.
Melagul says this clearly must be the head, the brain, maybe, of where it is. There's a whole thing for this.
Sounds good. I'll open the door.
All right, you're just straight up opening the door.
Yeah, why not?
Hold up.
We
Let
do
the
have
man
a
read.
time limit, and I point at the fading tree on my forearm.
I was gonna
Yes.
say, how are those looking?
They're looking pretty worn. They've taken a pretty big hit. They're almost only like less than half remaining.
So we had what, 8 hours to begin with?
Yeah,
So-
you're under 4 now.
3.
Yeah, so I'm just opening the door.
All right. You open the door, and immediately you're in a hexagonal room made of white marble with gray veins. There are letters etched in the stone that kind of appear and then vanish. And they just slowly appear and then vanish. I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, not 20.
You're good. Wait. I should record this so that I know. All right, so Islamay's good.
11.
All right, you failed, sir. Thank you very much.
22.
No.
Isn't your modifier?
You said wisdom saving throw?
Please, yes.
That is a 16.
Only an 8.
I have a plus 1 wisdom, but I have proficiency.
Ragus, what'd you get? Steven, what'd you get? You're muted.
And
10. All right, and
Yeah.
Soraya gets. All right, Islamay. For a moment, you have this calming sense come over you, and you have this really strong recollection of being at sea, of being with your crew, your original crew on your first vessel, and you can almost smell the salt in the air, but you know you're in this room. It's not like you have visions or anything. It's just you have this overwhelming like memory just kind of bombard you. Eladin, you're on the street again. You're on the street, sitting in front of a box. There are cards sprawled in front of you. You know exactly what are on those cards, and there's a whole crowd around you as you begin flipping the cards. Dimitri, you just remember this strong recollection comes into your mind of fishing with your father. He brought you just by yourself on a rare moment. And he was showing you on a fish that you caught where the gills were and where the different fins were. And it's just a memory that kind of like comes to you. You can almost smell the fishiness, but you're still in the room and it's all good. Lucius, you have this really strong memory come over you of being in the ring and everybody chanting your name as blood just drips off your weapon and your foe is at your feet. But it's just a memory. You feel good. You feel good about it, but you're not taken off guard or anything like that. Ragus, man, you just see your grandmother in front of you, and you're in the mines again. And she is showing you a vein of silver ore and describing how you can find that silver and go with the silver, and maybe it could lead to gold. Leos, you're harvesting kelp. You're out in the ocean, you know, in the surf, and there's just kelp being brought in. You have all of the, you know, the people of your childhood there, and there are racks set up, and they're all bringing the kelp and setting them up on the racks, and you're going through that. And yeah, so there you go. Those of you who only have a recollection but aren't actually physically in a memory, you see the rest of your party just kind of like standing there dazed, and where they're standing, words are just kind of materializing in front of them and fading. All of these words just kind of flashing by. Not in a language you can read.
Sorry, who do I see in this like state?
So the individuals who look like they're in like a hazy state, like not moving at all, just kind of very catatonic, are Eldin, Ragus, Fleos.
Dimitri would go up to whoever is closest and just start like, you know, smack him on the face. Hey, come on, bring it back, bring it back.
I'll do some like this.
Let's say it's Eladin you're doing it to, and Eladin,
Sure.
make another wisdom save.
It's the same.
Yeah, he doesn't respond at all. And Islame, who are you doing it to?
Ragus first.
All right, Ragus, make another save.
Snapping my fingers. You're muted.
17.
All right, Ragus, you feel this pain on your face as you're looking at. I'm assuming you slapped him. Pain on your face. You could have punched him in the face. I'm happy with that too. Oh, you're stabbing?
You were slapping like
My bad.
fingers.
You.
I
There's
did a
like
few
this.
times and then slap.
There's like. Wait, you did slap him? Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, you feel this pain on your face, and it kind of begins to burn, and the caves melt away, and the last thing you remember is the smiling face of your grandmother as she's describing these veins to you, and then Islame is in front of you, and your face is just tingly.
All right, I apologize in advance, but I probably get a little angry. They're like, "What did you do? I was talking to me grandma," but not too violently.
I just kind of like grab your hands on top of my hands that are like try and like pull you back down. So I imagine you're reaching up to me to do this.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm tall for a dwarf, but yeah.
So while they're doing that, if I'm slapping Eladin in the face and that's not working, I'm gonna up it to like a sternum rub with my knuckles.
Okay. Ellen, make another wisdom save.
And I'll go over to Fleos once Ragus lets go of me.
16.
I'll let go by now.
Eladin, your chest begins to burn, and you have a moment. You're like, "I'm having a heart attack. I must be having a heart attack." And then the cards get really fuzzy, and the faces all just kind of begin to blur, and then you find yourself standing in this room with
Hey, easy.
Dimitri still going like this on your chest.
Easy. Hey, are you back? Are you back? You're okay? You're with us now? Give a few extra pats on the shoulder there. You got a little woozy there. How many fingers am I holding up?
6.
Okay, you'll be fine. Pat him on the ass. Let's go. Next one.
Lucius is the only one
Who's left?
Who's still kind of wait.
Oh, okay.
No, sorry,
I bust out the
Fleos,
smell.
Fleos.
Fleos.
Yeah. So I was just gonna go with Fleos and like put my hand on his shoulder. Not as aggressive as with Ragus. Just
Yeah, give me another save.
25 wisdom save.
You just come out of it and recognize that you're, amongst friends, but you were out of it.
Yeah, I blink my eyes several times, and I start a little bit, but then I release my hands and I say, "Interesting."
So
And I looked at Melagul for some sort of explanation. Why was it stopped in my head?
Melagul kind of walks up to you and says, "Well, we're looking at the anatomy of the brain." He walks over and he says, "I can read this, and I'm Eladin. I'm sure you remember. We had to read this too." And he says, "Over here it says something about a dark place with silver, mining, and a woman with a beard. Does this mean something to anybody?"
Nope, nothing. None of your fucking
with
business.
a beard.
No, and this one over here, it's talking about being on a ship, and something about the crew, and this one over here, it's a fishing story. Does anyone recognize these things?
For the
It
record,
sounds
my grandma
fishy to
didn't
me.
have a beard. My grandma had no beard. He was just stained from mining so much.
Because Ragnus says that he doesn't recognize it, Fleos is going to keep his mouth closed.
All right. He walks over to one. He says, and this is what I saw. This is definitely what I saw. He kind of looks at it and he's like, "This seems to be some type of hall of memories. Like there's a part of your brain, we're pretty sure, it's responsible for your recollection. We must be in that part of the library's brain, where it resides its memories."
But are they all happy memories?
Are they all our memories?
I don't know.
Mine was
Can we tap into the memories to figure out why the library is doing the crazy shit that it is doing?
I don't see anything here besides, there's a lot of gobbledygook, if it makes sense.
Would it just be the memories of anyone who has passed through this space? Eladin, do you recognize any memories from your friends?
That is a great question.
Give me a investigation.
24.
You see a writing on there in the wizard script about a knight with a bottle of wine, a cheap bottle of wine in an expensive bottle, and you recognize it.
She was here.
You also recognize the second one as, a night out on the streets spent drinking, and then a prank, which I will let you describe. And that is definitely Gron's.
Yeah, so I read it out loud because I'm kind of a little awestruck. And it's a simple prank where he's describing a wizard who would create the illusion of gold coins on the ground, and somebody would go to pick it up, and then we would use Mage Hand to push them over. My friends were here. So they made it this far, at least. That's promising.
I think maybe we should Go through the door, and at the far end of the hexagonal room is a door lined in runes that glow faintly, and you can see the words kind of like forming around it and moving through it. Some of the words and phrases. And the door itself is made out of this same white marble.
I go forward and try to open the door.
It just slides gently open, and you immediately feel the hair on your neck stand on end.
I take a step back.
The next room is darker, and it's made out of black marble.
Can we see anything inside of it?
There's something ominous. It's just another hexagonal room, and there's the orbs, a couple more orbs entering it and going through a door on the other end, and there are carts this time, haphazardly stacked with books. I feel both scared of this room and very sad. And all of you have like this very emotional response as the door opens. A little bit, Ragus, you're all of a sudden a little angry. Fleos, you all of a sudden are a little like, you miss home. You have this sense of like really missing family and those you consider family. Isilme, you feel really just on edge. Lucius, you too. Eladin, you're just craving that bonding of friendship. And Dimitri, you have this like sudden desire to hide.
I gotta say, when am I not angry?
Dimitri, you're a man of medicine and all that good stuff. What are the parts of the brain? Do you know?
Give me a medicine check.
Okie dokie.
Whatever it is, not too happy about this.
16.
All right, that's good enough. So you're just leaving the hippocampus, which is the region of the brain associated with memory and storage of that kind of information, and you hypothesize that since this is proximal to the hippocampus, it's probably the amygdala, and the amygdala is. I hesitate to use the term primitive, but it is a more primitive portion of the brain that's usually responsible for protective acts, for immediate reactions, for kind of the unconscious control of the self.
I relay that information to him.
So my hunch is that we're going to experience some innate emotions going through here. So
Is entirely plausible.
do your best to keep a clear head, and then I start to walk through the room.
So Solbaya enters the room, and he kind of touches you momentarily. He's like, I'm going forward. And he goes up to the next door. Opens
Hold up. Before we go, I need someone's help. I just need a volunteer.
He's a volunteer.
Why? What's for?
I don't have to volunteer if I don't know what I'm volunteering
Volunteer
I
for
pull
what?
out my dulcimer and I need someone to hold this while I play it so we can keep moving.
Okay. I
for.
hold up my
What's your
arms.
dulcimer?
I'm going to play it and cast Counter Charm. We all have advantage on wisdom saving throws.
Sweet.
As long as you're within 60 feet of me while we're playing.
That's excellent, and probably want to keep that going. There's nothing about this that is so overwhelming you can't control it. If you feel like your character would want to enact on like a feeling of that sense, feel free, but your character can control it, right? So Ragus, for example, is angry, but he's not so angry that he's going to smash somebody's skull in or do something absolutely, utterly out of his character, if that makes sense. Now, if Ragus is like, I'm angry, and I like being angry, and I embrace my anger normally, then he'll do something angry. Does that make sense?
Sounds good.
It pushes you further into your character.
Right.
I'm just going to have my small sword out and ready, and I'm like looking more actively for traps and monsters and the like.
So
I'm walking right behind Salbaya with like a hand on his back.
absolutely. SWAT style, I get it. And he just kind of like throws the next door open. You know, it moves on like these overly greased hinges, and he just touches the door and it swings fully open, and there's a blue light that spills into this amygdala room, and as he does it, there's a beam of energy that reaches out and touches him, and scorches across his body, flames working up it, and you see his skin just begin to bubble and pop, and he falls down to one knee, and his eyes are just kind of rolled back into his head, and you see these black veins kind of coming out of his wound. And if everybody recalls, something that we haven't really talked about is that Solbaya still has that obsidian husk of stone coming out of his skull. You see the obsidian begin to glow black and veins working all around it. Dimitri, just looking at the damage on his body, you know that it's immense. Like there's flame damage all over him, and he kind of
I'm immediately dropping down and doing like some cure wounds type shit.
Oh yeah. But as you do it, he kind of gets back up before you cast, and who is it? I think it's Islame, right? Your blade glows when you're near undead.
Yep.
Your blade begins just glowing out of nowhere. Hadn't been glowing this entire time, and he looks back at all of you with dead eyes.
Oh no! So I do my my eyes of the grave thing, where I just where they undead start magically glowing around me.
He glows like the Dickens, and that's where we're ending it for the night.
Son of a bitch!
All right. Thanks for playing, everybody. I really enjoyed this session. We'll pick it up next week.
Yeah, good night, everyone.